super excited to be here with you all. How's everybody feeling?
Feeling
Good. Okay.
What are you thinking right now? Ice Cube's on your right shoulder, man.
Dude, oh man, definitely nervous. Couple things. One, we had just flown back from Hawaii, Odyssey tour. We were in Hawaii, literally like I landed the day before, or I think it was the night before or something.
Yeah, it was the night before.
Dude, flew back from Hawaii, slept as much as I could, and had to be here in the morning. So yeah, my brain was like scrambled. I remember being nervous, especially because of that. I was like, dude, I'm exhausted. Like, we had just completed the U.S. tour. Hawaii was the last show of the U.S. tour. So we had done like 25 shows or something like that. Biggest shows I've ever done. Very physically and mentally demanding. So, and I knew I had this huge opportunity to rap for Ice Cube. So there's that element. Another funny thing to point out too is when we got there, because the idea was I was going to freestyle for Ice Cube, the actors who were playing the Turtles, and then Seth Rogen, which is I was super fired up about. But when we got there, they were like, yeah, Seth isn't quite sure like that he wants to be on camera for the freestyle. He says he doesn't ever really know how to react to rappers.
Fair.
Yeah. In terms of like visually, if he's being filmed, I'm sure is what he meant, which is totally fair. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. We often do, the thing I'm most known for is reaction-based content. And, everybody's personality is different. And just because somebody doesn't light up big on camera doesn't mean that they're not feeling it, right? So I think, so anyway, we weren't sure if Seth was going to be in the clip, and he ended up being in the clip. And his reaction was great. So, it worked out perfectly. But yeah, definitely nervous, definitely worried that my brain was a little too scrambled having just flown back from Hawaii. And, but obviously excited to be, in the presence of hip-hop royalty.
Okay, I love it. Let me make sure I got him. Ooze, Mayhem, Manhole, Superfly, Pepperoni, and last but not least, Warthog. I think I'm ready. Should we give this a shot?
Let's do it. I know you did some turtle studying.
Yeah.
Before this.
Yeah.
What does your preparation look going into something like this?
I use an app called Flashcards Deluxe. Shout out to Flashcards Deluxe. Not sponsored, but really fire app for making flashcards on your phone. But yeah, if I'm entering into a world where I'm not necessarily like inherently versed within the context of that world, I'll create flashcards. So like I was studying, I basically just like refamiliarizing myself because it had been a long time. I used to watch the Ninja Turtles cartoon when I was a kid, but I was and I loved it. But I was refamiliarizing myself with the colors and the weapons and the characters and how they all correspond, and like who's who the villains are, the key environments. Stuff like that. So I'm just trying to have as broad of a context as possible so that like when I'm pulling references in, I know that they make sense. For something like Star Wars original trilogy, it's like embedded. Like I have it, I know it's all there and I can reference so many things easily with confidence. But if I'm less familiar, if it's been a while or if it's something that's completely new to me, I feel it's really important to put some time in. So for about a week or two before this, I had the deck, and like while we were finishing up tour on flights and stuff, I would be sort of like testing myself and studying.
If I may, there was one more question that kind of ties into this area here.
Yeah.
Are there any tricks that you employed to remember all these words? Like you're standing in front of Seth Rogen, Ice Cube, the cast.
Yeah.
How do you remember all these words that are given to you?
Yeah, so I used to not have a strategy, and then I would forget the words a lot more frequently, or I just would only take one word at a time. And I immediately knew that it would be really valuable to develop a strategy to try to remember the words. So I kind of like came up with a strategy organically, and then in learning more recently about like tools and strategies for memorizing long lists and things like that, I was like, okay, it was validating. I was like, that makes sense. That's kind of in line with what I do. But basically for me, I try to receive the words in order. So like in this case, it's all these people lined up. It's like I'll go down the line in order, usually. And sometimes somebody will yell something out from further down the line. And then I have to be like, okay, all right. Yeah. But basically what I'm doing is I'm tying the suggestion to the person that gave it to me. I'm kind of imagining it's floating over their head like an icon. So like Superfly, like I might think of Curtis Mayfield, the soul singer who did the soundtrack for Superfly. So it's like you turn it into an icon that will remind you, and then that's just like sitting over Ice Cube's head, or pepperoni. I'm just like seeing a pepperoni pizza, and it's like sitting over the head of whoever gave that suggestion. Yeah. And you kind of burn it in that way. And then when you go back through it, as soon as you look at the person, you're like, oh yeah, there's the pepperoni pizza over their head. And it reminds you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So converting to imagery and then tying the image to the person is like my big 2-step process.
I think this one was a little interesting too because I think the words started to come kind of out of order.
Yeah.
So that gets a little tricky, man.
That's when it gets crazy. But
it's always impressive.
Thank you. Well, it's okay if the words come out of order usually, although it is harder. What's really messed up is when people change their order after I've started freestyling. Ooh. So like if everybody in this line just shuffled, then I would be like, what's going on? Because I'm looking and I'm like, it's supposed to be a pepperoni pizza, but he's not the pepperoni pizza. And so then everything gets quite confusing.
All right, let's get it, y'all. Turn this up. Yeah. Okay, yeah. Off the top of the dome, listen, off the top of the dome. Every time that I rhyme, yo, we lock in the zone. Mack getting busy when I'm in the cypher circle. I'm underground like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's Mack. I'm about to bubble like jacuzzi. I'm blessed to be here, helping with promo for the movie. Yeah, anybody step in the Mack gonna lose. When it comes to off top, I'm the one they choose. Around the whole scene, I'm about to peruse over these beats, man. I let my lyrics ooze. Okay. Mack, I be flowing off the brain. I feel the instrumental while it's oozing through my veins. It's oozing through my blood. It's oozing through my body. The way that I come off the top of the mental, they know that the lyrics are.
All right, hold up. Pause it. All right, yeah. So a few things to point out just from the technique side. One, for ooze, I went for it. I went for a 4-bar phrase. So 3 bars of setup and then landing with the word ooze. Usually, like my regular baseline way of doing it would just be a simple setup punchline couplet. So it's just 2 bars. One thing that rhymes with ooze, and then we land on ooze. But in that case, I went for the 4 bar. So it's like 3 lines that end with something that rhymes with ooze, and then finally the line that ends with ooze. And then I also use this other technique that I sometimes use where I just hammer the word. So it's like I ooze like blank. I ooze like blank. And I do that a lot, and I don't even know how I'm going to fill in the blank once I start it. I just kind of improvise them in the moment. Like I ooze like blood, ooze like saliva, ooze like lyrics from the mind of the lava. A rapper who oozes with sound through XLR chords. It oozes from my brain to the mic, gets absorbed. I let it ooze through my system, through my nervous and my digestive. I let it ooze in a way that can't be tested. And you just like start going, but just by hammering the word, it's just like always tying me back into things that ooze. So that's one thing I wanted to point out is something that I do a lot, and then at the end a little triplet burst to for some fireworks.
It's surprising every time too, because when you're hearing someone freestyle, you're just waiting for like, can they do it once?
Yeah,
and you're like, here's a dozen.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you know this. The guy in the quilted coat here.
Yeah,
I saw him on a popular comedy podcast called Kill Tony.
Oh, dope.
On stage freestyling recently.
Oh, really?
I was like, oh, did he get a little inspired by the... Oh, it was cool. It's cool.
That's dope. I wonder why he didn't kick some bars on this occasion, man.
I don't know, but he was feeling it. He brought good energy, man.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
That's dope. All right, hell yeah. Shout out to him.
It happen. I'm microphone slaying, never playing. My lyrics about to cause some mayhem. Every time I spit for y'all, I prove that I'm a straight boss. I said I'm causing mayhem. My flow is causing chaos. Yeah, Mack, y'all know that I rock with these. Opening up these doors because I got the keys. Yeah, Mack, man, I got a sweet brain. This is giving new definition to term keychain.
My favorite bar of the video.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That one came to me. Yeah, it's important too, like I feel to, you know, when I have these opportunities, like I'm rapping for Ice Cube, you know, and Seth Rogen, you know, it's like I'm trying to make the best, like most complete package I can in the frame of time that I have. In this case, like, you know, five minutes or whatever it is. And so I feel like it's really important to weave the classic kind of visual freestyle references in with the word schemes. So it's like I try not to get so stuck on remembering the words and making sure I'm doing the words justice if it's not going to allow me to also just notice his keychain and do something fun off that. You know, I think tying the visual thing in, and that's what's so kind of magical about it too. Like I feel like a sleight of hand magician in a sense, because it's like we're doing the word thing and I have your attention over here on words, you know, okay, I'm going through your words, right? But then like while you're focused over here, I'm like, oh, but the keychain. And then I'm already rapping about it and you're like, wait, what? And then all of a sudden like perspective shifts. It's like, oh, we're rapping about the dude. And then I pull another word back and you're like, oh, the words, you know? Yeah. And I think freestyling in so many ways is about like creating an expectation, you know, and solidifying it and then breaking the expectation for that wow. And then again, once that becomes, oh, he's doing visual stuff now, then going back here feels new and exciting. So yeah.
I see you balance that during Gorilla Bar shoots too. It's like some groups might need a little bit more of the visual to stay engaged. Hey, here's your coat. Here's some bars about that.
Yeah.
Than others. Look at Cube here looking at that keychain like, where's he going? Where's he going?
Hell yeah.
It's so good, man.
Epic.
Schmack, man, I got a sweet brain. This is giving new definition to term keychain. Hey, Schmack, man, I break it down. Cause when I rhyme, I'm delivering the crazy sound. Here, coming right over the tip of this. When I get loose, and they be loving all the rhymes Harry Mack can produce. Now I said, off the dome, I let the thunder pound. Beneath the manhole, my flow's underground. Yeah, it's H-Mack, man, I'ma send it through ya. I said I'm underground like I'm chilling in the sewer. H-Mack, I'm here, I be under the surface. I'm living my purpose, I'm stepping up, I'm feeling mad nervous. They said, Mack, you nervous? Truly, why? I said, I'm sitting next to Cube, yo, that's super fly. Getting busy, when I rhyme, I stay real. Super fly, word to Curtis Mayfield. It's H-Mack, y'all know I be taking control. I said, word to Curtis, when I spit, I got that soul. Yeah.
Hold on, pause it real quick. So, I knew that, that Cube was gonna, I thought that he would fuck with the Curtis Mayfield reference because, like, you know, Ice Cube was all about like sampling like classic funk stuff and classic soul records from that era. Like he was always, you know, quite often sampling like George Clinton and Parliament, and, you know, whether it was like with Dre and NWA, like they were so deep into that like funk soul sound, and so many of those classic records that he was a part of pulled from that genre. So I was like, yo, I bet he might fuck with this Curtis Mayfield reference. And when I said it, it was like because he was smiling and bouncing to all the references, but when I said it, I felt like it was like a more serious kind of like, okay, yep, like for sure. They're like, yep, I see what you did there. Yeah.
It's when I spit, I got that soul. Yeah, love to this man, it ain't no trouble to display. I'm with the legend out of NWA, straight out of Compton, inspiring every rapper in the game. This cat is a true master, it's insane. Blessed just to be here in your presence. Yo, when I rhyme, I be channeling the essence. These rappers, small fish, something like an anchovy. They don't entice me, my flow is spicy like some pepperoni. It's mad, I'm all about it and my lyrics about to reach ya. Hot and fresh with bars like oven-baked pizza. Matter of fact, my freestyle, I must release this. Other artists is too cheesy, just like Deep Dish. I'm with the Ninja Turtles, so we out in New York. Yeah, Mack, I'm on top with the rhyming reports. Hey yo, I stand tall without no stilts. I stitch my letters together just like a quilt. Mack, I make it known, I'ma pull it off the coat. When it comes to kicking lyrics, people knowing that I'm dope. Matter of fact, my freestyle's about to make you holler. Y'all got me feeling mad underdressed. I should've worn a collar. Yeah, busy when displaying the vocals. Shouts to my man laying low in the polo. When it comes to lyrics, they know I'm the hardcore dog. H-Mack might transform to a warthog. Yeah, when I'm rhyming, I be in that MC spot. Shouts to the legendary warthog bebop. When I rhyme, y'all know I'm the raw free sparker. Speaking of bebop, I improvise like Charlie Parker. Mack, I'm getting busy. There's no one who could test me. I improvise off the dome like Dizzy Gillespie. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, we about to slay. Rhyming with Cube, gotta say, yo, it was a good day.
That was the truth. That was the truth right there. Yeah.
Damn.
Without a doubt.
All of you, thank you so much. Absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure.
I'm happy for you.
Off the Dome is the hardest rhyming. That's the hardest rap you could do is Off the Dome, and he did it with ease. You know, you're a master.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Damn.
Thank you. That means so much to me, especially coming from somebody like you.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. I know what you just did, baby. It's hot.
Sir.
It's
Yes,
hot,
sir.
man.
Thank you.
You're great. Yeah.
Like the brain power you need.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Man, and you guys came with some tricky words, too.
Damn, yo. Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Crazy. Shout out to Ice Cube, man, one of the legends of the game, dude. Yeah, even now, just watch. It's been I haven't watched this really since it came out, but yeah, the him at the end just giving props like that is like insane. And when he says, you know, I know what you did, like, yeah, he does. You know, he's been around everyone and is himself one of the greats. So that's so dope, man. That's like my favorite part about you know, having this career is that, you know, it's allowed me to interact with like some of my heroes and legends in the game and get to do something unique and special for them, you know? So, again, like when I say I'm passionate about freestyling off the top of the dome, like I mean that with my whole heart. Like being able to freestyle off the top of the dome and focusing so much on that, even when people are like, oh, what's that really going to be? Or where's that really going to lead? It's like, dude, at the end of the day, it led me to being able to shake hands with fucking Ice Cube, man, and you know, to like receive some positive validation from somebody that's just like undeniable like that is like such a blessing, you know? So yeah, shout out to Ice Cube, shout out to Seth Rogen, obviously a legend as well. Anybody like around my age is like Seth Rogen is like, you know, we were just watching all those movies when we were in like middle school and high school and all that. So yeah, super dope moment, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, on the technical point too. It's funny because like my bar for Warthog, I didn't really have a bar. I realized I was like nervous, or at that moment, I could tell from watching it, I'm so adrenalized. It's like there's this point that comes where in the beginning I'm nervous, then I kind of just like tip into it a little bit and like start like, and then I'm like running the motions and I'm like, oh yeah, I know how to do this. Okay, cool. And then it starts building on itself. And then I like notice good reactions from like Ice Cube. I'm like, oh, he's fucking with it. Oh, crazy. And then like good reactions from the crowd. And then I like get some better bars. And then eventually I'm just like, ah! Like inside my head, it's just like, it's all happening, you know? And then I was so adrenalized. I was like, oh yeah, Warthog. And then I didn't really have a bar. So like I just said, H Mack, I might transform to a warthog, which is like, that's random as fuck. Like, but I might. So there's that. But then afterwards, I had to make up for it because, you know, due to my research for this movie in particular, I knew that, you know, the warthog character is named Bebop, which could it be a more, you know, fertile word for me because, you know, I'm a jazz musician as well. And so, you know, I was able to go from bebop to referencing Charlie Parker and Dizzy Gillespie. And so I felt like that was one of the dopest parts of the freestyle. So luckily I was able to make up for the warthog thing. But that's always just a funny line to me. H Mack, I might transform to a warthog. Like that should be my business card or like my new YouTube banner. Sup, y'all? H Mack, I might transform to a warthog.
You never know.
But I did say I'm the hardcore boss. And then it's like a warthog is a very villainous kind of like creature, especially in this particular context. So, you know, I mean, I still fuck with it. It was still fire.
Man, that whole cast was awesome.
Hell yeah. Oh, dude, super dope, man. Everyone was really, really awesome and just an insane opportunity.